Hey y'all, it's Bay bringing you Captain Tsubasa Dream Team, and today I would like to go over the 4 new characters that came on July 23rd, which are the new Tsubasa, new RIVAUL, and the secret to NATUREZA and MISAKI. Are they good? Are they worth the pull? There's gonna still be Super Dream Fest coming up from July 31st, and before that, there's gonna be Italian national team pot transfer, which include Gentile and Hernandez. And because it includes Zeno Hernandez, probably many of you are still considering whether to wait until that to come, or should I pull this one, or should you save the Dream Balls for the last Super Dream Fest. And before the current Tsubasa, new Tsubasa and RIVAUL transfer came, my idea was that probably because these two aren't goalies, I was gonna save my Dream Balls until Super Dream Fest. That was my plan, because I still think the Dream Fest that to come will be super strong. It's gonna be a beast character, I think, because it's already proven from the previous Super Dream Fest when Santana and Sho came. They are super strong, right? But after seeing these 2 new characters, I'm not talking about the secret ones, because those aren't something you can aim to get. But even this new Tsubasa and RIVAUL, I didn't think it was gonna be this strong, to be honest. But these guys are super strong, except for team skill, which I thought was gonna be something like Japanese character 10% or non-Japanese 10% for RIVAUL. But yeah, other than team skill, I think because of the original stats is already super strong, but with the new passive that they got, which is 20% boost to all parameter when full power buttons on. That's like 15 minutes in game, and most of the times I think when you use full power, that's when you're gonna make any move, right? So yeah, I think it's really it matches. So yeah, so let me go on to the Excel as usual. I made it, but before I do that, here are the characters. Tsubasa. It's all in Japanese, but his offensive stats altogether is above 20,000. That's super strong, right? As we all know, because even Dream Fest characters that's in the game right now, most of them are less than 20,000. Okay, just only Napoleon, if you include Pierre's passive, his passive, which is if Pierre is around, everything goes up by 10. Napoleon goes up to above 21,000, but that's like something exceptional. And other than this, not many, even Dreamfest characters aren't this strong. Of course, the recent Santana and Sho, with their passive, they could exceed that too. But my point is, I think this Tsubasa and RIVAUL, they're at the same level as Santana and Sho. That's how strong they are. Of course, because they're not Dreamfest characters, they like for this Tsubasa, even this RIVAUL, their offensive stats are both above 20,000, but however, their defensive stats are pretty low, right? Like RIVAUL, his block is like on 3,000, and interception is only at the beginning of 4,000. And as for Tsubasa, his block is on the 3,000, interception in the first half of 4,000, like RIVAUL. They are very similar. So it's not like they could do everything. But when it comes to offensive moves or skills or stats, like this Tsubasa or RIVAUL, they both could do everything. Everything is exceeding 6,000. And some are above 7,000 or mid 7,000. That's super strong. That is super strong, even if you compare them with Dreamfest characters. Yeah, so because this Tsubasa is OMF or AM, and this RIVAUL is forward or AM, it's really, it makes sense, because you want to use these characters to do offensive stuff, right? And also they're physical, which what relates to their offensive stats, are pretty good too. Like this Tsubasa, everything is exceeding 5,000 and power is above 6,000. And as for RIVAUL, he doesn't have anything that exceeds 6,000, but everything is above 5,000. So, everything is really, there's no weakness in these two when it comes to offense. Yeah, and even defense, like both this RIVAUL and Tsubasa, their tackle is pretty damn high, especially RIVAUL, it's above 7,000, right? So, yeah, their stats are just already super good, like Fest characters, I think. And on top of this, they get the boost when the full power is on, right? And on the very left is Tsubasa. So in the left, it says new 2 on the top. That's Tsubasa. And on the very right of the Tsubasa, where the text of offense and defense is red, that's when passive effect is on. And when the full power is on, since everything goes up by 20%, look at all his stats, especially offensive stats. Everything exceeds 11,000. And as for shot, it goes above 12,600, which is like Napoleon. Almost exactly the same as Napoleon, including his passive. Napoleon is one of the strongest characters still as of today, and even compared with Napoleon, this Tsubasa, well, when full power is on, that is at the same level. And even if the full power isn't on, as you can see here in the middle section, his shooting power is like at the same level as Fest Diaz already. So he is really strong, as you can see here. With the passive, he's even stronger, and it's really, this passive seems limited, but I think when you press the full, well, by now everyone knows when to press the full power button, right? And that's when you really want to attack, and you have 15 minutes after pressing the button, and all you have to, people who has this new Tsubasa and RIVAUL will think about how to use these characters, or when to press the full power button, which is like when like Tsubasa has the ball or RIVAUL has the ball, all you have to do is start pressing the button there. So it's not that hard to get this 20% boost. So if you take all that into account, I just think these characters are a beast characters, really. Yeah. So although their team skill is pretty weak for today's recent team skills that all the other characters have, which is only 7% boost for types, but I think it covers their stats or passive, everything covers the bad point of their bad point, which is the team skill. Yeah. So yeah, I think this Tsubasa and RIVAUL on the right, the next column where it says new, the second part right here. So his stats again, like Tsubasa, everything exceeds 10,000 for offensive stats, and his tackle is above 11,444. So he is super strong as well. And again, with he has exactly the same passive as Tsubasa, but he could even do double position, unlike Tsubasa. And this time RIVAUL, it's what's unique is his main skill is 1-2, which you'll need both all Santana, Natureza, and this RIVAUL. That's a bit of a limitation here, but for those who have another Fest RIVAUL, like extra Fest RIVAUL, you could give that what is it called? I forgot. It's not Skyhawk, but Golden Eagle, Hawkshot to him. Or even for those who don't have that, you could just get the raid B rank Skyhawk shot, which is still strong today, on top of him, and he'll be a beast. I'm sure he will. So yeah, I was gonna say, if their stats aren't that good, it's one option to skip this and save your dream balls for Dreamfest. But I have the feeling, because it was like that for Santana, that Dreamfest characters, although probably the next Dreamfest will be the national team Dreamfest. I don't know who it will be. I assume it's gonna be my guess is it's gonna have to be someone like Schneider or I don't know, like Hyuga, someone super strong, very popular. But so they're gonna be strong, I'm sure. But it seems like Dreamfest characters will come even after the first year anniversary event finishes, because it said at Santana's Dreamfest that these characters special national team kit version will be only obtainable now, and they will come. Yeah, well, I think that's what they said. So which makes me feel that they will come with a normal uniform later. I don't know. I don't have this any guarantee for this, but the way they said it in the asterisk when those two were there here, yeah, it makes me feel that Dreamfest characters will continue to come, but these characters I think won't come again if you miss the chance. And I think by looking at their stats right now, they are already super strong. Yeah, so if you're really confused whether or not to pull this, again, like I've always been saying, it's most important to determine what you're going after. So if you're going after toughness type or skill type, you know which one to aim for. But if you're going for agility, I don't know. If I were you, maybe unless you need someone like Mueller. Well, Mueller itself alone doesn't have a good probability. It only has like 0.155 or something. So it's not something you should go after alone. But if you want some other characters as well, if you have like several characters that you want that totals up to like something like 1% or above, maybe you might want to pull. But other than that, if you're going with agility or something, for example, I don't think you'll be using this Tsubasa or RIVAUL. So for those people, if I were you, I would wait. Yeah, but other than these people, for those who are going with toughness, for those who are going with Japanese, those who are going with skill type or South American, I think this is worth pulling. These characters are super strong. And overall, the transfer, this time's transfer percentage is pretty good compared to the past, because there's 5% probability for SSR, right? And within this 5%, you have like 2.4 something percent of getting national team character, whether you pull the Japanese or non-Japanese. So which means normally you only have like 1 point something to get the pickup characters, right? But this time you have like 2.4. Well, of course, within this 2.4, there are some shitty characters like the French national team characters who are not at all strong unless they're used at league. But yeah, so please check out the probability, what you're looking for, and add up the percentage and determine whether this is a pull or not for you. Yeah, but basically, I think if you're not going with toughness or skill type, you'll have a much lower chance of pulling what you want, because these two new characters are has 0.42% probability, which is the highest. So yeah, if you're only looking for Mueller, like I said, or like Mueller plus cults or whatever, you only have like 0.3% of pulling one of the two. So it's gonna be pretty risky. Yeah, so be careful on that. But just by looking at these new characters, even including the secret ones, well, secret ones you can't aim and get it. So I would not recommend anyone to go after this, because you'll go to hell if you do this. But yeah, just by looking at these characters' stats alone, or passive, or all the other stuff, I think overall these two characters are really strong, very strong, like Fest characters. Yeah, so it is worth going after if you want these characters. But if you have limitation of dream balls and you're not going with agility, I mean you're going with agility, or you don't think you'll be able to immediately use these characters even if you successfully get it, then you should really determine, because you know that Super Dream Fest is still coming up. Yeah. So I hope I am clear. And of course, new Secret Misaki and Natureza, these guys are super strong as well. But for someone so hard to obtain, 0.01% each, which is like you need probably to pull like, I don't know, like 10,000 times to have like a decent probability of getting one of the two. So that's super hard. It's like impossible. So it's not something you can aim. But for such something that low, I think their stats are, yeah, they're strong for sure. But you know, if you compare them with the new Tsubasa or RIVAUL that's listed here right now on the right side, left side, the right one on the third one is Misaki. The very right one is Natureza, and I don't think they're like super broken strong. I mean, Tsubasa and RIVAUL is almost probably like as strong as these two. So although they're not secrets, they are strong. That means, you know, this Misaki and Natureza, they are strong for sure, but they're just like, you know, normal fest characters, I think. Yeah. So, I don't think this is something you should aim for, of course, because of the probability. So you should determine whether to pull or not by looking at Tsubasa and RIVAUL and other national team characters that you failed to get in the past, and see how much you want and how much probabilities those will add up to determine whether or not to pull. But just by looking at these two new characters, they are strong for sure. They're like fest characters. They're like strong fest characters, like Napoleon, for example. So, or RIVAUL, the past RIVAUL, I mean, or this RIVAUL probably is better than the past RIVAUL. Because of the passive is much more useful, but I wouldn't give the past RIVAUL teach the skill to this RIVAUL if you only have one of the past RIVAUL, because the past one is also still good. Yeah, and there are different types, you know, they could do different stuff. So I would not recommend you to give, you know, to make that old RIVAUL disappear by giving the skill to this new one if you get it. Yeah. So I think sorry, I didn't have time to really go over each one of them in depth as I normally do, especially for the secret ones. But yeah, they're super strong for sure. I have no doubt about that. So I don't think there's not much I have to explain to let you guys understand that, right? Because all the offensive stats for both Tsubasa and RIVAUL, it's, you know, exceeding 10,000. That's already, you know, super strong. And their passive, although it looks like it's limited, but, you know, using full power is not something hard. Yeah, so I think it's going to be strong. And since I successfully got RIVAUL, as you saw probably my past gacha video, I'll probably be able to soon show you guys how strong they are. So stay tuned for that too. Thanks for watching today, and bye.